Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about customer service and how to deal with customer service in this post-pandemic period where customer service, at least in the sense of large companies, online businesses, is being turned over to AI-driven, or in some cases, remote-driven, remotely managed customer service entities. And in doing that, you can easily end up getting bounced around on the phone, at least, when you call an 800 number or 888 number that's listed in a document or on a website, if you're able to get a phone number for that matter. Last week we received a letter in email, if you will, explaining that we were going to be charged an additional expense, $3,000 plus, for our office space that we rent, and it was for operational expenses in 2024. Now, the background behind that is irrelevant because that's something separate for me to deal with. But the issue at hand was we received this letter via email with a point of contact, a phone number, and an email address. And so, for starters, I sent an email, first of all, asking if we could discuss what was in the letter. I attempted to call the phone number that was listed on there, and the extension ended up taking me to a voicemail box that didn't identify itself. It just said, "No one's able to answer the call, please leave a message." So after giving it a couple of hours to see if I got an email response or a phone call back or anything, nothing, I attempted to call again. And this time, after being unsuccessful and getting a person on the phone, I tried a different route. I tried going to the phone number I called gave me the option to go to a global directory and do a dial by name directory. And so I tried the name of the person that was listed as the point of contact on the letter. And in that case was taken to a voicemail box that was not identified, but rather just said, "This person's unavailable. You can leave a message." So I did that. This all started mid-morning on Thursday, about 10 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, I still haven't heard from anybody. So I decided, let me get on the internet, look up the large company, and see if there's a customer service number. So I call the customer service number, and I provide them the accounting information that's listed in this document to the customer service rep I get, who unfortunately tells me, "I'm not finding an account with that. I'm not sure how to," I give them my phone number, our address, all this information, none of which they could use they were successful in finding our account. So after that, I said, "Thank you, I'll go a different run and hang up the phone." What I ended up doing next, after emailing the support number that's listed on their website, I decided, let me email the chief operating officer to chief operating officer of the company, this billion-dollar company that manages commercial real estate. And within about 30 minutes of messaging that person, direct messaging on LinkedIn, I got a phone call from a representative, a customer service representative, who said, "Hey, my supervisor I got this message from my supervisor in response to your message on LinkedIn. I'm calling to see if I can help you." Now, at this point, I've already expressed my displeasure through direct messaging through this officer that the difficulty that we were experiencing in getting a person on the phone to talk about our account and deal with what, as far as I was concerned, was a significant event because money was involved, my money, our money, and that I was frustrated. So I get another customer service rep on the phone, except this nice young lady was kind enough to indulge me. I said, "Hey, let me email you copies of all the emails that I've been sending about and not getting anybody on the phone to see if that would help. So we go through all these emails and I explain the situation that I got this letter with points of contact, none of which I can get in touch with, received another letter from this company that actually was addressed to me, but it referenced the wrong office space. So a number of things that were just not adding up. In the end, she tried a couple of other numbers that were not even listed on any of the documents that I have unsuccessfully to reach somebody. Lastly, she said, well, let me try looking up this person, this point of contact that's listed in here. Finds the name and says, well, let me see if I can message them. I guess like Microsoft Teams or whatever their internal messaging capability is. Sends them a message, and within about 10 minutes, I actually get a phone call from this gentleman. Now, at this point, it's been about 6 hours of just frustration just to get a person on the phone to talk about the very document that this large company sent us, expressing that we owed this certain amount of money and that they were going to withdraw it at the end of the month from our banking account. And so in that conversation, I expressed my displeasure at how difficult it was, not only to reach somebody, but how inaccurate the contact information was across all the multitude of documents that we received. And the explanation that I received was just acknowledgement that, yeah, we've had a problem with this, and yeah, we really should work on this, and I'm really sorry. So what it highlighted for me was when you're dealing with customer service and you're getting bounced around, I feel the surest way to ensure that when you engage someone at another level within an entity about a problem that is important to you, get the 5 W's. Get the who, what, when, where, and why, and make sure you write them down. Who you talked to, what you talked about, when you talked to them, where, whether it was on the phone, in a chat, in a text message, and if you haven't already captured, the why. What that's going to do is it's going to keep you in a position when you're talking to these entities to stay in a position of knowledge and be less relied on them to give you information, but rather you're telling them what they should already know, and it keeps you in a position of, I don't want to say control, because we're really not in control of anything, but rather it allows you to speak from a position of knowledge and confidence. So when you're talking to customer services, be it retail or in the food industry or just general business, make it a habit of getting those 5 W's and writing down the information and getting names of people that you speak to, because pronoun people don't do much for you. I spoke to someone somewhere, somehow, in some place, and that just does not give you or put you in a position of confidence when you're talking to these large entities whose responsibility it really is to make sure that they just get a satisfactory resolution and then close the case. So with that, I hope you gained something from this, and thanks again for listening. Take care.